back to Storytime with Katie, Kinzy, Bay. I, of course, am your author, your narrator, your host, if you will, Miss Katie, Kinzy, Bay. And today, in this chapter, the story of the first SummerSlam I went to. As you can see from the shirt, it was in Las Vegas, August 21st, 2021. Now let's give some backstory. Let's see. COVID was still a thing. Everyone was just coming out of the pandemic and lockdowns and everything like that, and people were finally allowed to travel again. And, it wasn't really my intention to go to SummerSlam. It took a little bit of persuading and not a lot of resistance on my part. Let's just put it like that. So let's set the scene. It was probably 3 weeks before... It was about end of July when I was talking to TC and Reek from Young Kings Wrestling. I was on their show, and they were talking about how they got their tickets for SummerSlam, and it's going to be so cool. And I was like, oh, I've never been to Vegas. I think that'd be awesome. And they're like, well, just, buy a ticket and go. And in my head, and, kind of at the time, I was like, I don't really think I can swing that money-wise. Cut to a week later, I buy a ticket. I don't remember how much I spent on it. It was a decent seat. It was in the new Allegiant Stadium, where they were going to have Money in the Bank last year, but they moved it to MGM. So, it wasn't really a bad seat or anything. So, I buy the ticket. I have no plane ride there. I have no place to stay. So, it's a bunch of scrambling to do all of that. I end up finding a relatively cheap plane ticket to and from. Again, I don't remember cost of anything because this was 2 years at this point, which is crazy. I get a hotel room at the Red Roof Inn off of the Strip. I wasn't even on the Strip. Your girl was ballin' on a budget. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It was terrifying. I felt like I was so far away from everything, yet I could, see part of the Strip. Again, you do what you gotta do when you're balling on a budget. It happens. Last time I went, I stayed on the Strip. It was much better. So, I book all of that. It's about, I want to say so, the first week of August, I'm at work, I smash my hand. This is important just for me, because I was like, okay, I'm finally going to treat myself. I'm going to go to Vegas for the first time, get to meet my friends in real life who I've been talking to online for a year and have done podcasts with. I was very excited. So I get to work, I smash my hand. It's gruesome-ish details. If you don't like this kind of stuff, skip ahead a minute. Basically, my hand got stuck between a metal door and I was holding a metal rack. And my hand just went smash. I surprisingly did not break anything. Thank God. It was my dominant hand. It was my right hand. Which sucked. I was in an ace bandage for about a week. So I just had a boxer's knuckle, which means I just bruised, the inside of my hand. Every once in a while, I still get pains in it, even though the doctor was like, oh, it'll only hurt for a month. That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and I still have pain. Every once in a while. So that happened, and then the following week, give or take, I was going to AEW, because I already had a ticket for that. I had that ticket for months at that point. And so that's when I met Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and she also had a wrist injury at the time, so we were talking about that. Again, these are just minor details, but I feel like you guys should know. A little backstory into the plot. So, the time comes, I go to Vegas. I fly in. I believe on of like a Thursday. I can't really remember anymore. It's been a while. Again, how many times I would say it's been 2 years. So I fly in. I kind of just hang out and get food for the night. Friday rolls around. I do some sightseeing, I think. And I'll always remember when this was because, so Friday night, I'm sitting in my hotel room. It was basically a motel, let's be real here. I was watching CM Punk return to wrestling on Rampage on my laptop because the TV for some reason was not getting the channel. So I'll always remember that. That night was the first time I met Reek and TC in person, and that was so cool. Cut to last year when I got to meet some of my other friends in person, which is just such a fun feeling because you talk to these people all the time and you like see them via screen, but seeing them in person, you're just like, oh my god, you're a real person. This is weird. It's a weird feeling, but a great feeling. So I got to meet them. We walked the strip, basically end to end. I was in sandals because I did not know we were doing that. So that was a time. The next day was SummerSlam. We met up at MGM because that's where the Superstore was. I got this shirt, as well as a SummerSlam tank top, which I couldn't find. It's somewhere in this room. I'm in the process of trying to figure everything out in my life, including all my clothes. But I did find this one, so I could wear this one. Because I was originally just wearing a t-shirt, and it was August in Vegas. Ergo, it was hot as hell. So I thankfully bought a tank top, and it did wonders. And this was just a backup in case something happened. Then we make the, I want to say half an hour, maybe less, walk to Allegiant from MGM. Again, blistering heat. It was very hot. I was sweating. I was not having a good time. Get to Allegiant Stadium. We meet up with Malik, who is also part of Young Kings Wrestling. Get to hang out. We all go to our seats. Reek tells me and TC that there's 2 seats next to him open. Mind you, this is like a little bit into the show. We already passed the kickoff and everything like that. I can't remember what match. So if I was here, he was on the opposite side of the stadium, basically like diagonal from me. So, I just got up after one of the matches, walked over, sat down, hung out. And then TC joined us. So the 3 of us got to enjoy the show together, which wasn't the intent, but I'm very happy it happened. Wrestling shows are more fun when you go with people. When wrestling shows are in Pittsburgh, I would normally go by myself. Sometimes I make friends with the people around me. Other times I'm just in my element. I'm just enjoying wrestling. But it is really fun to have friends to talk about it with. And then live in the moment. I got to see John Cena versus Roman Reigns. I popped for Brock Lesnar. This was before Cowboy Brock. And if y'all know me, I love me some Cowboy Brock. So this was before Cowboy Brock. I was just not expecting him to show up, so I freaked out. Got to see Brood Edge's entrance. Becky Lynch came back. It was a good show, and I'm very happy I got to go. And like I said, I got to hang out with friends that I already have made, but in person. It was so much fun. It was just a good weekend. That was the first time I took a trip by myself, and just me time. I usually go on vacations with family and friends. This time it was just solo dolo. I was going, and I'm so happy I did. I love Vegas. That's why I went last year too for Money in the Bank. That's not a super fun story. I could always do a story time about that. Let me know if you want a story time about that. I'd be okay with telling that story. But I feel like that's basically it. The journey to Vegas, the journey to SummerSlam, was its own entity. Things just kept going wrong, literally smashing my hand, and I felt that was karma from the universe being oh, see, you're doing something for yourself, Katie. bad thing happened. Which sounds about right. And, I got to do fun things there. Got to, again, I've never been to Vegas, so I got to gamble a little bit. No, I didn't do any shows. I'm also, confusing everything I did the first time I went to Vegas versus the second time I went to Vegas. Because I went 2 years back to back. So it's hard to remember what things I did the first time versus the second time. Well, the second time I got to see fireworks for 4th of July, so that was kind of cool. But I think I just did, a lot of exploring. Kind of, getting used to everything out there. I did go to Fremont Street for the first time. That's what I did that first year I went. But I went during the day because I didn't want to go anywhere alone at night because I was scared. And we did get to see Versus Pro Studio, the indie wrestling promotion that TC does film and pictures for. Media, that's the word I was thinking of. That he does media for. So that was cool because I've never been to an indie show, so I got to experience that for the first time. I had a grown man sit on my lap and get chopped by another grown man. That was an experience. But those are, the main big things that happened. It was such a... I can't believe that was already almost... So 2 years ago, but in August, officially 2 years. God damn. What a time I had. I cannot wait to possibly go to SummerSlam again this year. I have a very hectic 2 weeks around that. So I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of what might be / probably will be happening that full week of August before I end this chapter here. So the first week of August, this August, so August 1st or 2nd through the 7th, technically, no, the 8th, technically, is my friend's bachelorette party. She's getting married. We're going to New Orleans. I'm very excited. I've never been there. So checking off another place. I'm very excited. And my family's vacation to the beach starts Saturday, August 6th. So we go Saturday to Saturday. And guess what else is also on Saturday, August 6th? SummerSlam. So what I will more than likely be doing, because I have a lot of issues, is going to my friend's bachelorette party, fly out Sunday morning to Detroit, hopefully just stay with one of my friends so I can keep my suitcase there for the night. If you're watching and you're going to SummerSlam, please let me stay with you just for the night. I will give you money if you need it or want it. So do that, do SummerSlam, hang out with my friends, get to see them, fly into Savannah, Georgia, Sunday morning, and then spend 6 days at the beach. Now, if you know me, that is the most Katie thing that will probably happen in my life. And by then I'll be 27, so that's fun. It's a fun little experience to start out 27. Well, thank you guys for watching this chaotic little story time. Let me know your favorite memory from SummerSlam 2021. Were you excited about Brock Lesnar? Were you excited about Becky Lynch? We kind of were, and then she kind of squashed Bianca, and it was a thing, and yeah, it's still a little iffy about that one. But of course, you can follow me on Twitter at KatieWrestling13. The link tree in my bio will take you all things ShElite Showcase. Twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish, give or take. YouTube.com/ShElite Showcase, where you're watching this. Hi, hello. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, if you want to listen to the other shows, since this is just a YouTube exclusive. Excuse me. Big shout out again to Jaylan on the beat, Justin Heel Tactics. Of course, his information is in the description below. He has created the music not only for this show, everything ShElite, Smacking It Raw, Getting Off, Young Kings, Get Show, Straight Talk, Botch Spots, and Chair Shots. This man is a genius when it comes to music. So go to him if you need any music for your podcasts, or just music in general. He's the man. He knows what he's doing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, tell me your favorite memory from SummerSlam 2021. What will be the next chapter? Maybe I'll switch it up and maybe I'll do my first AEW show. Would you guys want to hear that? Because I met a certain someone at that show. Who is it? I guess you'll just find out next time. Until then, bye-bye.